You call the pharmacy to refill a medication that you take every single day, and they say, sorry, it's out of stock. Or maybe you get one of those wonderfully informative little texts that says, your prescription has been delayed. Delayed until when? Tomorrow? Next Tuesday? The second coming? Most people assume the pharmacy has ordered it, somebody is handling it, and all they can do is wait. But if this is an important daily medication, and especially if you're helping manage medications for an aging parent or relative, waiting quietly may be the one thing you should not do. Because out of stock can mean several completely different things, and some of them can be fixed much faster than you think. Right now, for example, there are reported intermittent back orders involving Lantus Solastar insulin pens. That does not mean all insulin is unavailable. It doesn't even mean every form of insulin glargine is unavailable. It means a particular product and delivery system may be hard to obtain in some places. And that distinction matters because changing the brand, concentration, delivery device, or formulation may require a new prescription and new instructions. So, before you miss a dose or spend the next 3 days calling the pharmacy and listening to the same hold music, here are 7 questions you need to ask. And stay with me because I'm also going to give you a complete word-for-word message to leave for your prescriber that contains the information their office actually needs to solve the problem. I'm an RN with more than 25 years in healthcare, and this is exactly the kind of problem that becomes worse when nobody tells patients how the system actually works. Question number 1. This should be common sense to most of us, but first clarify, is the medication out of stock or are you out of refills? This is the first thing to clarify because out of stock and out of refills are 2 completely different problems. If the medication is out of stock, the pharmacy has a valid prescription, they just don't have the medication available to dispense. If you're out of refills, the pharmacy may have plenty of the medication sitting on the shelf, but it legally cannot give it to you until your prescriber authorizes another prescription. There are other possibilities too. The prescription may have expired. Insurance may be rejecting it all of a sudden. It may be too early to refill. The pharmacy may be waiting for prior authorization, or the prescription itself may contain a problem that requires clarification. But from the patient side, all of those problems may surface simply as some vague text message letting you know that your medication has been delayed. So, ask the pharmacy, can you tell me the exact reason this cannot be refilled? Is the medication physically out of stock? Am I out of refills? Or is there an insurance or prescription problem? Do not settle for it isn't ready. You're not being difficult. You are identifying which problem needs to be solved. Because calling 10 pharmacies will not fix an expired prescription. And calling the doctor for another prescription will not create medication that nobody has in stock. Question 2. Is it unavailable everywhere or only at that location? One pharmacy being out of a medication does not automatically mean that every pharmacy is out of the medication. Sometimes another location in the same chain has it. Sometimes another chain has it. Sometimes the pharmacy can see nearby inventory, and sometimes they can't confirm inventory until you've called every pharmacy yourself. Ask, can you check if another pharmacy has this exact medication dose and formulation? The last part matters. You're not just looking for any insulin, a blood pressure pill, and her seizure medication. You need the exact medication name, strength, dosage, form, release type, if applicable, and delivery device, if applicable. A tablet is not automatically the same as a capsule. Extended release is not automatically interchangeable with controlled release. A vial is not the same thing as a pen. And insulin concentrations are definitely not something we casually swap because two of the boxes had similar sounding names. If another pharmacy has the exact product, ask if the prescription can be transferred. Some prescriptions can be transferred easily. Others may require the provider to send a new prescription to the pharmacy that actually has the medication. And before you request the transfer, call the pharmacy and confirm that the medication is currently physically available, not merely listed in the computer as something that the pharmacy normally carries. Question 3. Is the shortage affecting the medication or simply one version of it? This is where people can lose several days unnecessarily. A shortage may involve one manufacturer, one brand, one strength, one package size, one dosage form, or one delivery device. That Lantus situation is a good example. The reported problem involves Lantus pens being back-ordered because of increased demand. That is not the same as saying there's no insulin. Other insulin glargine products and presentations may be available. The pharmacy may need a new prescription, insurance coverage may be different, the concentration may be different, the delivery device may work differently, and the prescriber may need to give the patient special instructions. Ask the pharmacist, is the shortage affecting every version or only this brand, manufacturer, strength, or delivery device? Is there any available option I can tell my prescriber about? Notice what you are not asking the pharmacist to do. You are not demanding that they choose a new treatment plan. You're asking them to identify what they have available so your prescriber has actual useful information that can prevent the doctor's office from sending a replacement prescription for another medication that is also unavailable. Question 4. Can the pharmacy help you bridge the gap? Depending on the medication, the prescription, state law, and pharmacy policy, the pharmacist may have options. Those options might include a partial fill, a limited emergency supply, ordering from another distributor, transferring the prescription, contacting your provider, or identifying an available alternative for the prescriber to consider. None of those options is guaranteed, but you will never know what is possible if you don't ask, right? Instead of saying, when will it be ready? Say something like, I'm concerned about missing a dose. Are there any partial fill, emergency supply, transfer, or other options available while we work on a remedy for this situation? If the answer is no, ask, what information should I give my provider? And is there a product currently available that he may want to consider? Pharmacists deal with this every day. They often know which version is available, which products are back ordered, and which solution is most likely to work. Use that knowledge. Question 5. Is insurance creating a second problem? Here's the infuriating part. You can solve the shortage problem and still discover that insurance will not pay for the solution. The replacement medication may not be on your formulary. A different manufacturer may require authorization. A new pharmacy may be out of network. Insurance may say it's too early to refill because, according to their computer, you already have enough medication. The computer does not care that the medication is in your suitcase in Cleveland, is damaged, is lost, or was never dispensed in the first place. Computer has spoken. Ask the pharmacy if the prescriber changes this medication or sends it somewhere else. Do you expect an insurance rejection problem or a prior authorization problem? If insurance rejects it, ask for the exact rejection reason, not insurance doesn't cover it. You want to know whether the issue is refill too soon, prior auth required, non-formulary medication, quantity limit, wrong pharmacy, or another specific rejection. That exact language helps the prescriber's office address the correct problem instead of playing administrative whack-a-mole. You can also ask whether there is a reasonable cash price or discount option, but do not pay hundreds of dollars until we find out if the rejection can be corrected. Question 6. What should you say to your prescriber so somebody actually acts on this? My medication isn't ready, please call me, is probably going to bounce around the office all afternoon. The person receiving your message needs to know who the patient is, the exact medication, why it cannot be filled, how many doses remain, when the next dose is due, what the pharmacist says is available, which pharmacy should receive the prescription, and how to reach you. If you're calling for yourself, say, "Hi, this is Mrs. Smith. My date of birth is XYZ. My pharmacy cannot fill my exact medication name, exact medication strength, and the medication form because," and give them the exact reason, "I have 0 doses remaining and my next dose is due." The pharmacist says, give the name of an exact product or available substitution, is currently available. Please send an appropriate prescription to, this is where you leave your exact pharmacy name and contact information, or tell me what I should do if this cannot be filled before my next dose. You can reach me at your phone number. Click. For a parent or another family member or dependent person, you could say, "Hi, my name is Julie and I'm calling for exact patient name and date of birth. I help manage their medications and the pharmacy cannot fill exact medication, name, strength, and form because exact reason the pharmacy gave you. Mom has 5 doses remaining, or however many doses you have or your loved one has before they run out. And the next dose is due this evening with her dinner." The pharmacist says, exact product name or available option. Please send an appropriate prescription to exact pharmacy name and contact information. Or please call me back with instructions if this cannot be refilled before her next dose. My callback number is 867-530-99. That message gives the office something it can act on. If you leave it through a portal, make sure you keep a copy. If you call and speak with somebody, write down the exact date, time, and the name of the person you spoke with. Question 7. What should you never improvise, and when does this become urgent? This is the part where we need everybody to resist the urge to become home apothecaries. Do not change the dose yourself. Stretch doses further apart without instructions and supervision. Double a later dose. Use somebody else's medication. Substitute a different strength. Crush or split a pill unless you know it's safe. Switch between insulin products or concentrations on your own without supervision. Or start doing pharmaceutical arts and crafts sitting at your kitchen table. Similar name does not guarantee a similar dose. A different version of the same medication can be absorbed by your body differently, administered differently, or covered differently by insurance. Tell the pharmacist and prescriber exactly how many doses you have left and when the next one is due. That changes your message from a vague refill request to a time-sensitive continuity of care problem. The medication is one that cannot be safely interrupted, or symptoms and readings are becoming dangerous. Do not wait indefinitely for routine office messaging. For insulin especially, seek prompt clinical guidance if your next dose is approaching and you don't have a plan. The situation has moved beyond a regular refill problem. So, if the pharmacy says your medication is out of stock, do not simply wait and hope for a magic box to appear on your doorstep. Is it unavailable everywhere or only at this location? Is the shortage affecting the medication or one specific formulation? Can the pharmacy offer a safe temporary option? Will insurance block the solution? What exact information does your prescriber need? And what should you never try to improvise yourself? Leave a copy of the sample message in the description below. Save it somewhere you can find it. When you're down to one dose and coordinating between the pharmacy, the doctor's office, and the insurance company, that is probably not the moment that you want to invent the perfect voicemail from scratch. If you're the person managing medications for everybody in your family, tell me in the comments. What is the longest you have ever spent trying to get one prescription refilled? Because I already know some of you have stories and possibly unresolved rage. I'm your friend, the RN, and this is where I make healthcare more friendly. If you learned something from today's video, please hit the like button or consider subscribing. Thank you so much and stay safe.